Hi guys, for those of you that are new to following me, then welcome. For those of you that already follow me on Instagram and have followed me onto YouTube, welcome back. This is the new moon in Sagittarius, which will be occurring on Monday, the 14th of December 2020. Please note that the energies are interchangeable. They are not gender specific. Please take what resonates and discard the rest. If you would like to book a personal reading, all of the details will be linked in the description box below. So without further hesitation, let's begin. So this will commence in two particular halves. The first half of this video will be dedicated to looking at the numerology and astrology of this new moon in Sagittarius. The second half of this video, I will be doing an energy reading on what we can expect from this new moon in Sagittarius. Now, before I actually begin, I'm going to show you the decks that I will be using. So I'll be using the Moonology Oracle deck. I will be using the Afro-Goddess Tarot Arcanas, and I will be closing out the reading using the Universe Has Your Back. So what's really interesting with this particular new moon is that it will be occurring on a day in which we also have a solar eclipse happening. So I will be talking about that a little bit later. Now, I've decided to call this new moon Freedom and Truth through Spirit. And the reason being is when we look at when this is occurring, it's occurring on the 14th of December. Now, 14 in numerology represents personal freedom. It represents independence. It represents curiosity. And it also represents self-determination. December is a universal 7-month, which represents spiritual consciousness, so a spiritual awakening. New moons are a time which represents new beginnings, and a new moon in Sagittarius means a new focus or a new purpose. Now, the fact that this is occurring at the same time as a solar eclipse represents that there will be a change in focus. The sun in astrology represents ourself, and it represents our goals. And this solar eclipse is going to amplify the energy of the new moon, which sparks a change in ourselves and a change in our goals. The sun will be eclipsing Mercury, which is a really significant planet in this new moon in Sagittarius. Now, Mercury is the ruler of the third house. It also governs Gemini and governs Virgo. Mercury represents our lower mind, how we learn, how we process our thoughts, and it's the logical, practical, rational part of our mind. Now, the fact that the sun eclipses Mercury represents that we are moving away from using our lower mind, moving away from our conscious thoughts, and instead moving towards using our higher mind and learning to listen to our subconscious thoughts, which is our emotions and our intuition. Now, what's really interesting about this new moon in Sagittarius is that the sun, the moon, and Mercury are all sitting in Sagittarius in the 6th house. Now, the 6th house in astrology deals with work, it deals with health, and it also deals with service to others. The sun in the 6th house represents a dedication to a life of service. And this is amplified because of the fact that the sun is in Sagittarius, which represents doing things that may be meaningful or purpose-driven. So at this time, you may be seeking ways in which you can use your gifts or your skills or your talents to be of help or to be of service to humanity. What I'm also seeing is that the moon is also situated in the 6th house in Sagittarius. So the moon deals with our emotions, it deals with our intuition, it deals with our subconscious mind and what is unseen. Now, because of the fact that Sagittarius deals with our higher mind, this represents a revelation of truth. Now, because of the fact that this is in the 6th house, this could be a revelation of truth in terms of what it is that we desire and what we want in terms of our careers, our businesses, our creative pursuits. For others, and what I'm picking up on strongly is that because of the fact that the 6th house energy deals with health, this represents a revelation of truth with regards to the pandemic and with regards to the vaccine. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there may be points in which some of you have questioned what's being told to you through the media. Some of you are listening to what the media is telling you, but it's not quite sitting well with your intuition. And this energy is being amplified by the fact that the moon, the new moon, is situated in that particular position, which means that we are questioning things. Now, if we go back to the number 14 and the meaning of the number 14, it talks about curiosity, which means investigating. Now, Mercury in Sag, or Sagittarius, I should say, represents seeking knowledge. So Mercury deals with the lower mind. Sagittarius deals with the higher mind. And when we put those energies together, we put Mercury in the sign of Sag. It's all about us being able to seek knowledge to life's big questions, so the things that we are unable to answer, because Sagittarius energy deals with philosophy, it deals with morality, it deals with spirituality, it deals with religion, and it deals with what is right and what is wrong. Now, because of the fact that Mercury is stationed in the 6th house in Sagittarius, the big question that is being highlighted for a lot of us is, what is the truth behind this pandemic? What is the truth behind this vaccine? And I feel that at this particular time, we're going to have that at the forefront of our mind. I also feel, because of the fact that Mercury is squaring Neptune, this is going to play a very significant role. Now, Neptune is the planet that rules over Pisces, and Neptune is the 12th house ruler. Neptune deals with the subconscious mind, and it deals with spiritual intuition. Now, it's also the ruler of what is karmic. So the 12th house not only represents the subconscious mind and our intuition, but it also represents institutions, so government institutions such as prisons, for example. And Neptune on the shadow side deals with delusions, illusions, and also fantasy. So what I'm seeing, squares in astrology pose conflicts. So if we have Mercury squaring Neptune, there is a conflict that is existing between the truth that is being told through these institutions, for example, through the government or through media corporations, and what our own personal truth is with regards to what we believe and what we feel within our intuition, within our spiritual consciousness. Now, the Sun, the Moon, and Mercury are all trying to Mars at this particular time. And Mars is sitting direct, and it's moving towards goals. It's moving towards what it is that we actually want. So Sun trine Mars represents taking action towards our goals. And this is really a brilliant energy because it represents creativity. It represents us taking charge of how we choose to express ourselves. So it represents creative self-expression. And it's also about us determining what it is that we want to take action on, because obviously the Sun represents our self, but also our goals. Now, the Moon trine Mars represents knowing what we desire innately, and moving towards taking action towards what we desire deep down. What is our passion? What is our hidden gifts? What is our skills? What is our dreams? Because the moon deals with our subconscious mind. Mercury trine Mars is also very significant because Mercury, again, it deals with knowledge and it deals with seeking knowledge. So Mercury trine Mars literally means taking action towards seeking the truth and taking action towards communicating that truth. So that concludes the breakdown of the new moon in Sagittarius, looking at the astrology and numerology. I'm now going to do an energy reading for the collective, and I'm going to start off with the Moonology deck. Okay, so we've got your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. We've got the full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. I'm going to pull another card. Ooh, 2 has come out. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. And we've also got full moon, surrender to the divine. Okay, let's have a look at the bottom of the deck energy. The bottom of the deck energy is communication is key, new moon in Gemini. So for me, how I'm reading this is that it's talking about communication. Now, this new moon in Sagittarius is about communication, but it's about freedom and it's about truth. So it's communication of truth is how I'm seeing this. We've got the blue that's amplified in this card, which represents the throat chakra energy. And the throat chakra is the communication center on our bodies, which helps us to connect to spirit. So for me, what I'm seeing is that the communication that's going to be key during this particular time and moving forward is going to be the communication that we create and we make with our higher self, the communication that we make with our ancestors and with our spirit guides that are helping us and supporting us and guiding us at this particular time. It's also about seeking of knowledge. So communication being key, seeking the knowledge, seeking the truth in order to unlock any mysteries or any illusions that may be surrounding us at this particular time. And it's also about being honest about what we want and standing in our personal truth, understanding that this is a time in which we have to come into alignment with who we are authentically, because the whole of this year, 2020, is about seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing the truth, being able to pierce through the veil of deception or the veil of illusion that has been sort of overcast and sort of encroaching upon us in society. So this is really key. And this is a really significant message right here, because we hold the power in our truth. So the power that we seek lies within our truth. Okay, so the next card is your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So for me, this message right here is talking about the fact that it's time to be honest about what we want it's time to be honest about how we choose to move forward. And it's also time to be honest about how we feel about what's going on globally within the world. How do we feel about the way in which information has been communicated to us? How do we feel about some of the changes that have been made, these radical changes that have been made in our legal system, which has essentially taken away so many of our fundamental freedoms and human rights that we used to enjoy? And when I'm seeing your commitment is being tested, this is really a message for the collective in terms of how much are you going to honor your own personal truth? How much are you going to honor your own personal freedom? And this is about acknowledging what it is that you want and going for it, but also understanding that everything that is being told to you at this time may not necessarily be the truth. How much of a how inquisitive are you? How much are you going to go away and do your own research to be able to find the truth for yourself, rather than relying on the truth that has been given to you by different institutions and organizations? Now, what's really interesting is this card, which says Full Moon in Aquarius. Now, I am going to talk about this. The time that we are recording this video, we are still in the age of Pisces, but we are going to be moving into the age of Aquarius around about the 21st of December, when we see that the planets are going to shift from Capricorn. So I believe that it's Pluto, Saturn, and Uranus, I believe, that is currently in Capricorn, that will be moving into the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius deals with freedom. It deals with society as a whole. So it deals with humanitarianism. And what we're going to be seeing is that there's going to be a change in the way in which we think, because Aquarius deals with our higher mind. It doesn't deal with our sort of logical and practical mind, but it deals with what we should be doing. What is the bigger purpose? Now, the message here is show the world the real you. This is about being authentically you and seeking to communicate your truth by embracing who you are and what you feel and honoring your energy. So showing the world the real you is really about stepping up and claiming what is yours, doing what it is that you've always wanted to do, understanding that the strongest power that you have at this time is honoring your truth, living in your truth, and communicating your truth. The next card here represents the blue moon, and it says believe in the impossible. Now, what this is talking about is having faith that everything that you desire will work out for the better and will work out for the good. And believing in the impossible means that you have to have faith that is unshakable, knowing, not believing, but knowing that everything that you want will work out the way it's supposed to work out, knowing that if you're making a change in your career, it's going to work out, knowing that even though things are very difficult at this particular moment, and that there are so many limitations and restrictions that are being imposed on us, knowing that things are actually going to work out for the best and for the greater good. And it's keeping that at the forefront of your mind by having strong, unshakable faith. And our faith comes from knowing who we are, and our faith comes from honoring who we are and respecting our truth. And there is a freedom that we have within respecting our truth. Now, the next card is the full moon, and it says surrender to the divine. Now, how I'm seeing this is that surrendering to the divine represents listening to our intuition, listening to spirit, listening to source, coming back to source, and understanding that everything that we need first is spiritual before it becomes physical. So that means that we need to depart away from always needing to have facts, proof, and evidence in a very physical and tangible way, in a very methodical and logical way, and instead be connected to spirit so that the truth that we feel comes from within and comes from listening to our intuition and paying attention to our emotions and not trying to ignore that by listening to what is logical, but listening to what's going on within us and trusting that the information that we need, the truth that we need, lies from within. I'm going to pull some confirmation cards using my tarot deck. So why is first quarter moon here? So we have the Hanged Man. Why is full moon in Aquarius here? We have the Seven of Swords. Why is the blue moon here? What's the blue moon here? So we have the God of Swords. Why is the full moon here? And the card that has come out is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So for me, the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck represents really paying attention to that number 7 and the significance of that number 7 being following spirit, following our intuition, following our subconscious mind. Pentacles is the element of earth that deals with all things that are material and tangible and physical. Now, how I'm seeing this is that the Seven of Pentacles is talking about making a particular change and knowing that this particular change that we are making within ourselves and that we're making within our areas of our work or our businesses is going to thrive and it's going to flourish simply because of the fact that we are honoring our energy, we are honoring our personal truth, we are focusing our time, our energy, and our effort into planting seeds that we want to grow. So those of you that have been working on a new business, working on a new creative endeavor, working on a new career. Know that the work that you've done up to this point is going to grow and it's going to thrive and it's going to flourish because of the fact that the focus now is on what it is that you desire and what it is that you want. We're no longer working in an energy of trying to just gain money. We're now looking at working in an energy of doing things that are meaningful, doing things that is purpose driven, doing things that gives us that intellectual stimulation, the things that inspire us, the things that we are passionate about. And if you look really closely at this woman, she is looking at this bush and she is taking a deep breath. She is inhaling and absorbing the energy from this tree or this bush. So this for me represents her being satisfied with the fact that she has managed to cultivate something from a seed and now it's starting to bear fruit. So this is amazing. Okay, so we've got the Hanged Man here. The Hanged Man in this position represents having to pay attention to our intuition, changing our perspective. The Hanged Man represents Neptune in Pisces, and being this in traditional tarot represents a person that's being suspended in air by the tree but is unable to move forward. There is a need for you to change your perspective. There is a need for you to really focus on the truth and see through illusions and see through the deception and honor your truth. Honor your truth by knowing what it is that you want. Honor your truth by listening to your intuition. Honor your truth by paying attention to your emotions. Honor your truth by, if something is no longer resonating with you, if something no longer sits well with you, investigating why, looking at the reasons behind that. Now, the way I'm seeing this Hanged Man over your commitment is being tested. The message here is really about us being able to see what is going on in the world with clear vision. Clear vision, not from a logical mind, not from a lower mind perspective, but using our higher mind to be able to see through the illusion, through the deception, and through the bullshit. So the next card that we have here is the Seven of Swords. And it says, show the world the real you. The swords element deals with air. It deals with thoughts. So it deals with what is logical and what is practical. Now, notice how we've got the repetition of 7 and the significance of 7 being brought back up. So we've got the 7 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, but we've got the 7 of Swords here. Now, the 7 of Swords is talking about really paying attention to what is going on. It's almost as if to say there is light being illuminated over an area that we may not necessarily have focused on, something that is being done that we're unaware of, and that we need to pay close attention to what is actually happening. So the 7 of Swords deals with deception, it deals with deceit, it deals with trickery, and it also deals with illusions. The message of the card here, meaning show the world the real you, is about truth, and it's about communication of truth and acknowledgement of truth. So there is a need here for you to pay attention. There is a need here for you to listen to your intuition and to honor your truth by following your intuition. The next card here, we have the God of Swords. The God of Swords would be the King of Swords energy. Now, the King of Swords represents that masculine energy of decisiveness, action, truth, clarity, strategy. So I feel like with this particular card here, what we're being told is that we're going to be given, with this God of Sword energy, we're going to be given some sort of sign or symbol or synchronicity. Could even be for some of you butterflies. This could be a totem animal for some of you, which is going to symbolize a significant change and a change for the better. So pay attention to the signs, the symbols and synchronicities that may be given to you, and ask for a sign or a symbol to be given to you, because I do feel like with this God of Swords energy, there is going to be some sort of clarity, there is going to be some sort of sign, there is going to be something that is going to be revealed to let you know that things are going to move forward, and move forward in the way in which you desire it to, based on your dreams and your goals and your desires. And the next card that we have here is the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, and it says surrender to the divine. This is about letting go of what is physical, what is tangible, what we can sort of know based on our logical, practical mind, and really embracing our subconscious mind, embracing our emotions, embracing our intuition, and departing away from using the lower mind and really focusing on developing our higher mind and honoring our higher mind, because that is going to be the way in which we're going to be navigating going forward. I'm going to pull a few cards from The Universe Has Your Back to close out this reading. So what are the messages for the collective, please? So the first message that we have is, when I lean toward love, I am led. This is about honoring and doing what it is that you want and doing what you're passionate about, and knowing that when you start to step out in faith towards what it is that you desire, that the universe will support you. Next card. It says, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So for me, this is talking about the fact that everything that we want, we can absolutely have. And this is about keeping ourselves in a very positive mindset, keeping ourselves in an open mindset, where we start to open up our mind to believing that anything is possible, and we know that we manifest through our mind. Then once we control our thoughts and we focus our thoughts towards what it is that we want, then miracles have the space or the capacity to be able to work. And for me, this confirms the blue moon. I'm going to pull one more card to close out this reading. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So this is, again, a very clear message that by honoring ourselves, by honoring our truth, by doing what it is that we love, by using that energy to focus on what we truly desire, then everything else is going to move out of the way in order to make room for what it is that we want. And we will be guided and supported throughout transition and change. This is beautiful. Bottom of the deck energy. The presence of love will always cast out fear. So love for me is about honoring who you are, honoring your truth, standing in your truth, communicating your truth, and understanding that once you honor your truth, fear has no power over you. I hope that this has helped. I hope that this has resonated, and I will see you all again very soon. Have a lovely new moon in Sagittarius. Bye.